Over the years, Blue Beetle's journey has been quite a roller coaster. The first attempt by Smallville was frankly an absolute disappointment. Though let's cut them some slack, considering they had only $4.5 million to work with. They also tried making a sequel series, but that idea never took off. A classic case of DC's promise-breaking tendencies. On a brighter note, adaptations like Injustice and Young Justice managed to get their storytelling right, gathering dedicated fan followings. Here's what's puzzling. Why does Blue Beetle earn love from fans and critics, yet struggle to make a profit? Unlike Peacemaker, Blue Beetle has a devoted fan base. The actors did a decent job, at least as far as I see it. The special effects were better, and the film weaved in family drama and sarcasm that might not hit the spot right away, but it grows on you as you watch. So, what's causing the financial hiccup? It all boils down to the writing. To start, it's an origin story, and honestly, Endgame pretty much quashed the chance of any origin scripted movie making a substantial profit. Before Endgame, directors had been riding on the wave of origin stories, and it worked well because, at that time, audiences weren't familiar with the main character's backstory. However, we're at a point where nearly every possible permutation of an origin story has been explored. This predictability takes away from the intrigue. Whether they're bitten by a radioactive insect, encounter an alien mechanical symbiote, undergo chemical fusion, imbibe gamma rays, or something similar, it's even evident from the name Blue Beetle that there's a fusion between a man and a special beetle. The reality is that origin-centered films struggle to maintain audience engagement because the novelty has worn thin. The issue with this particular movie isn't that the director drew inspiration from other films. After all, Deadpool is essentially derived from Deathstroke, yet it stands out as unique and successful. The problem lies in the film's failure to delve into a storyline that hasn't been explored by other movies. Every aspect, from the movie's inception to its conclusion, feels like a retread, executed more effectively elsewhere. When it comes to Blue Beetle's extra legs, Spider-Man nailed it better. The whole symbiote fusion thing is done more impressively in Venom. And those repulsor blasts? Iron Man has those mastered. The themes of family drama and bonding have been more masterfully realized by the Fast and Furious franchise. Even the entire plot arc has already been covered by Ant-Man. Jaime Reyes essentially mirrors Scott Lang, while Jenny Cord mirrors Hope, the daughter of Hank Pym, who was also the former Ant-Man, similar to Ted Cord, who is Jenny's father and the previous Blue Beetle. The villains, Darren Cross and Victoria Cord, share strikingly similar motives and operate in industries not under their ownership, Cord Industries and Pym Technologies. The parallels are hard to ignore. The movie's standout feature lies in its dynamic fighting styles and its refreshing take on Mexican-American culture, which resonates effectively in terms of family bonds. Unlike previous DC films like Shazam, where similar endeavors drowned in CGI extravaganzas and godly debates,
it's all about family.
Blue Beetle claims to be different. The character of Jaime supposedly breaks free from the tragic hero cliché thanks to his built-in safety net. From the supposedly cleverly gloomy Milagro, played by Belissa Escobedo, to the supposedly hilariously witty Uncle Rudy, played by George Lopez, and the predictably affectionate parents, Jaime's family is apparently there to prop up the plot. Their readiness to stick by his side, fight with him, and predictably rescue him magically turns this standard superhero tale into a touching family drama. Blue Beetle, allegedly, isn't just about action. It's about trying to yank at those heartstrings, attempting to blend the two, with questionable success. In the midst of this film, there's an oddball character named Victoria Cord, who appears like an afterthought. She's a carbon copy of the forgettable Gravik, both lacking any semblance of depth. It's amusing how Darren Cross, a secondary antagonist, outshines the rest with a more layered portrayal. And let's not forget the so-called main villain, Conrad Carapax, who apparently wowed the audience with his impeccable mastery of facial expressions. Blue Beetle takes the path of least resistance, parading its simplicity as a virtue. While some may argue in favor of this, I find it to be the very reason behind the film's mediocre financial returns. It's quite the spectacle to witness DC struggle to churn out a decent movie. They may excel in animated storytelling, but translating that competence into their live-action realm appears to be a tall order. I'm feeling generous with a 60% rating, although I suspect that even in the cinematic wilderness of 2011, this movie would have only managed a marginal improvement. Emphasis on the word marginal. Stay blessed.